This is how lawyers view sharing personal and business information about their practices with clients. Keep out, stay away, kind of a kid's or a teenager's view of relationship. I think that we are at a point that we are poised for a change in the relationship between attorneys and clients. Right now, lawyers are very good at building walls. They're good at boundaries and screens and taking information and doling it out in little bits and pieces. In large part, I think that's because we have a duty to protect client confidential information. We're maybe hardwired not to give out information. But what applies to our clients doesn't necessarily apply to ourselves. I think also lawyers are scared. They're afraid that their clients are somehow secret boogeymen or stalkers. Might be true for family and criminal law attorneys, but it's not true for the rest of us. We're also, when it comes to our practices, we think we have a special sauce. And if our clients got the recipes about our fees or about our work products, suddenly all would be lost. We have forgotten that lawyers used to practice in small towns. Many lawyers still do. In small towns, lawyers know their clients, they know their colleagues. They know their clients' kids. Their clients know their kids. They know who's rich. They know who has to be driven home from a bar after too many drinks. Then we moved into cities. And we became comfortable with a certain amount of anonymity, greater proximity, but also greater distance in relationships. The lawyer-client relationship became more like a transaction. Many of my clients, it's just get the client, represent them, milk them if you can, give them a stack of business cards, and get them on their way. I think there are two forces at work that are going to change this. First of all, there's just a lot of information out about us, and clients expect to be able to find information about us online. They're looking at us. The second is that there are some lawyers who are like pioneers, putting information out there, and they are paving the way for greater expectations of clients. So, for example, like you, when I want to talk to somebody, I don't do anything before. First I Google them, then I find them on LinkedIn. If I want their home address, I'll look on People. I can check their attorney registration address. But you know what? I get tired of searching all these websites, and really, it doesn't tell me very much about them or the practice. It gives me very little flavor. In contrast, look at what Sam Glover does with his website. He puts his calendar up there. This is radical. The idea that a lawyer is going to share with clients and the public when they're busy. It's a risk. A client might look at this and say, oh, he's too busy. He doesn't want me. Maybe one week he's not busy. The client says, oh, he's not busy. Yeah, I'm not going to him. New ways of sharing information to build relationships. Foursquare. I signed on Foursquare. 15 minutes later, I was tired of it. But I know lawyers who are using this. I know lawyers who are using this to communicate with clients. It's a radical idea for lawyers to share where they are and when they are with their client population. I call this, and the cheesy shall lead them. Because this is perhaps not our best example, but what is this representation going to cost is the #1 concern of a client when they walk into a lawyer's office. They want to know, they want to be able to find out beforehand what lawyers are going to charge. And this is more marketing, but more and more lawyers will engage in this type of transparency. It will become more prevalent. Clients will start to expect it. Imagine the client who finds 2 lawyers. One lawyer puts all this information out on the web about themselves, and the other lawyer has a static, bio, boring web page. Which lawyer do you think the client's going to want to have a relationship with? Now, I know for at least half of you sitting there, you're like, no way. I am not giving my client this information. I am not going to become Facebook friends with my clients. I'm not having them on Twitter. I just want you to get over that for the next 2 minutes. Because I think that this transparency has important implications for the attorney-client relationship and the way we practice law. So starting with the attorney-client relationship, clients come to you. They have fear. They have a fear of getting ripped off because they're going to pay you a lot of money. They have a fear of incompetence because they've heard bad stories about lawyers. They have a fear of losing their case. How can you get over their fear? They want somebody who they can enter into a relationship with. They want to know about you. Is this a person I really want to be involved in all of my legal problems? It's very closely related to the idea of client trust. Client trust is vital to the attorney-client relationship. You can't do anything for clients unless they trust you. And oftentimes, clients hold back information. They lie to you. I represent 95% lawyers. I have clients who do lie to me. And it's because they don't trust you. Who do you trust? You trust the people that you know. When you put information out there about yourself, you give the client an opportunity to know you and trust you even before they hire you so that you can hit the ground running. The next idea is what I like to think of as the idea of a micro niche. The idea that we will take personal information about ourselves and use it as a tool to develop our practice. We see this with, for example, lawyers who've served in the armed forces often have clients who've been in the military. Lawyers who are part of lawyers of color who are part of some ethnic community go back and serve that community as well. You could do this with any part of your practice that's special to you. Maybe you have special needs kids. Maybe you're a recovering alcoholic. Maybe you're Lutheran. Maybe you're a White Sox fan. Maybe you're a former Peace Corps volunteer. Taking your practice, sharing with the clients to build a practice against this very small niche, people who want to have a relationship with you. And then also, perhaps an end to the hand-wringing over why lawyers are so nasty to each other. We're nasty to each other because we're anonymous. You can treat someone really poorly when you don't think you're ever going to have to speak to them again. Remember the small towns? When you practice in a small town, or you practice like I do, and you have the same opposing counsel in almost every case, you treat people differently. When you're Facebook friends with another attorney and you see their mother is dying, you're not going to send them a motion at 5 o'clock on a Friday afternoon when you know they're spending the weekend in the hospital with their mother. So we have the opportunity in sharing information for more collegiality. Openness, sharing, less privacy from lawyers. The door is opening. You can either walk through it or you can be dragged kicking and screaming like a teenager. Thank you very much.